Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it? You already know. You know? Yeah, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Here's another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mother. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Ba-ya. 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 Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That shit's smooth, right? And Menudo style in direct fashion. You guys see the thumbnail, so you already know what it is. They try to set me up. Head up till I'm fed up. Now that's hard said. Ba-da-ba. They try to get me, right? And they got me. But to what degree of getting me is the question. So here's the story. Trip out. So I met this chick. And there's so much back history that I end up finding out about this chick later on that made me scratch her name off my telephone book, homie. Never again to take that second look. I definitely never took the second look because I was of the understanding that she was somebody that she wasn't. And when I found out that, you know what I mean, she's already about 275, I'm working with a monster here. And then I found out she had smut on her name and some dirt. I said, nah, I can't do that, man. That's just a little too much. I mean, the weight, the height, and all that. I was dealing with that shit. Couldn't cook work shit, right? And then all of a sudden I found some other stuff and I got on. Anyways, an ex-wife of mine, from Tulare County. You know, when I met her, I figured she was from Merced. That's where I met her, Merced in the town. I knew some people that knew her. She knew some people that knew me. We ended up knowing each other. And it was all good. And knowing is half the battle like some G.I. Joe shit. But at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, she had a lot of secrets and skeletons in her closet, to which I'll divulge a few. But trip out on this. So, come to pass, she's from Porterville. Okay? And she's actually from a barrio called Barrio Central Poros. You know, VCP, it's a well-known barrio out there. Whoever's from Tulare County or has been to Tulare County, you know that Porterville is just a small little town, but they wiggle out there. The wiggleization and the smackalization is definitely real. There's a lot of norteños out there. There are sureños in the surrounding area, Southsiders, and they do get into it, but Tulare County predominantly is ran by northerners, man. There's a lot of norteños there. Tulare, Visalia, Exeter, Limor, shit, Dinuba, Lince. All that whole little area, man, of Tulare County definitely wiggles. So we used to go out to Porterville all the time. You know, she had her jefito stood out there. He still was in the barrio. So we'd go out there, and through her, I met a lot of her homeboys, a lot of her homegirls, and the wiggle was real. We would kick it. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to kick it. I don't know if one of if your homegirl looks at me, if she even fucking glances that way one time, and my shit, shorty swing my way, and it swings that way, and she glances that way, when you turn your back, we're going that way, right? So that's definitely what I was into. The partying was real. We were kicking it. And we started to go out there frequently, like every weekend. So I started to meet a lot of homeboys and kick it. And I started to establish a name out there. Just as being a norteño from Merced, from Dead End, that everybody liked. I was cool, man. Like I said, I had functioned and did time with a lot of homeboys from Tulare County, from Baisa, from Tula, from Poros. So the wiggle was definitely real. Now I had a homeboy. He was a cuate. In fact, we called him cuate. That was from out there in Porterville. He was from, I think, the east side. Holmes is what he claimed. If I'm show. I'm not for sure, though, and gang. I don't know, right? But I think he was from the east side of Poros. He used to come out there and chill with us. I did an extensive amount of time in YA with him. He was just a good homeboy. Kind of quiet, kind of one of those guys that didn't say too much, Holmes. But he did a whole lot of partying. Fuck it, let's party, right? So we're definitely getting our Esperanza on every night, getting hella faded, having a good time. So I liked Porterville. That became my second home. That became a place that I wiggled to all the time, just based on that was my wife at the time's family were out there. And it was a cool spot. It was a little laid back for me. I'm used to a little bit more of the city life. It was more town, but I liked the movement. I liked the way the norteños progressed there. And one thing I could definitely say about Tulare County is it was more my stilo, more my flavor. The homeboys out there were in Ben Davis's, Cortez, suspenders, right? It was just more that cholo stilo that I've always been used to, that I've always respected, you know? So I have a lot of respect for down south, Southern California, San Jose, Salas, towns that wiggle like that, towns that still, you know, just that Pachuco style, that cholo style. It's always been me. It's always been instilled in me, man. The historia, the cultura is something that I push on the forefront, the raza. Now, So going out there all the time, it was cool. Well, I remember one time her prima was having a birthday party and she was all hype about it. She was hypey. She was like, hey, I can't wait. It's in a couple weeks. We're going to go to the to VCP. We're going to kick it. All my homeboys, a couple homeboys just got out. It's going to be good. And I said, yo, we're talking about homeboy. You know what I mean? So, okay, I'm looking at your homegirls. You're looking at the homeboys. Why don't you just be with the homeboys and I'll be with the homegirls? So, okay, we can swing. You know what I mean? It's all good. However you want to do it, bitch. Right? But she definitely was just hyped. And I could understand, man. She was going to kick back with some of her old school friends. And that's how I get when I'm around people from my water, my old school homeboys. You know, there's inside information. There's shit that we know about, shit that we do, things that we say, homes, that not a lot of other people say. You know, you feel me? You guys could identify and understand that. So anyways, look, trip out. She's all hyped. So we jump. At that time, I had a Dodge Intrepid on rims. I thought I was the shit. A 1998 Dodge Intrepid on 20s. So that's good. I kept them clean, though. You know what I mean? A little beat-up ass pull-out stereo. The shit was real, right? Real hood shit. So I remember we're slapping down the 99. We're on our way to Tulare County. And like I said, it had become my second home about this time. I knew a lot of the homeboys, a lot of the homegirls. So, you know, when I got there, I wasn't fearing nothing. I wasn't scared of the unknown. There was nothing really to trip on. I never really seen any play. I seen a couple one-on-one fights, homeboys handling their business, a little red on red. But I never really seen like Southsiders coming into town and shootouts and things of that nature. It just never progressed like that. That's not the way it was at that particular time. Don't act like the gangbanging wasn't real, because it was definitely real, you know, in Tulare County, but I just never seen it. You know, it was always love when we went out there. So we get out there, and I remember that day we went to her Fito's house, and the big party was supposed to be at her prima's, right? Her prima was right in the middle of Poros, like right by these shopping centers. And so I had never met this prima or been to this prima's house. I guess she kept her in the cuts from me. This was the hot. She was super hot, right? But I know. Don't tell nobody, right? So anyways, we end up going over there, and there's hella gente there. There's vatos from Tulare, from Baisan, vatos from Exeter, just vatos from all of Tulare County. And hey, I'm in the sea of red, eh? I feel like they partied the Red Sea, and the Norteño was coming through. So I'm right at home. And I'm getting introduced to everyone. I meet her prima. She got super BBL. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, right? I'm definitely going to have to smack that one time on the dance floor. And so everything's going good, and we kind of separate, me and this chick, well, my wife at the time, right? And I know I should have been paying better attention to my wife, but like I said, she was about a little over 275, so, you know, staying alive. I was trying to stay alive. Wherever she went, as long as the wobbleization was that way, I was this way. So that's just pretty much how it went. We were doing our own party thing. So she's with the homegirls and her primas, and they're in the kitchen, they're taking shots and doing their thing, and I'm with the homeboys, we're in the backyard. They're firing it up, you know, and you know how it is, man. Back in the day, fools firing up war stories and shit. So we're kicking it. And these vatos come. They're from Baisan. These vatos come through, and I could tell they're with the activities. They're a little bit more political than others. They're really with the program. I remember there was Huelga birds to look at and things of that nature. So I started to chop it up with them. Hey, Holmes, I'm from Merced. You know this guy. You done time with this guy or that guy. And they're like, all right, homie, yeah, I did time with your homeboy here and your homeboy there and your homeboy everywhere, right? Because we were everywhere. And there was definitely a lot of respect, but one of them was very quiet. And I could see by the way I was getting love and getting shown some love, there was some type of animosity there. There was some confusion on why I was getting so much love and I'm not from Tulare County. He was playing that TC card real tough. Now, I met a lot of authors from Tulare County that I respect, I got a lot of love for, and they're righteous homeboys. But at the same time, one thing about them is they're Tulare County, period, first and foremost. And if you're not from there, they might feel some type of way. You know, they definitely are from the old school, and they definitely play it by ear and play it like that. So he was kind of looking at me, and I caught the little look, but it was whatever. You know, hey, anywhere you go, there's always going to be a hater. There's always going to be someone that dislikes you because you smell good, you look good, you got a bigger chorra than them, and they don't even know, but they just see the wiggle through the sweats. It's whatever, right? Guard, you've been there. Oh, maybe you haven't. I have, though, right? You know, I've been with woods where there's one wood like, hey, brother, you didn't give me a shot of coffee, brother. You know what I mean? Everyone always has their own reasons for why they don't like you, just based on, they'll judge a book by its cover. That's it. So whatever, as the night progresses on, my chick is like, hey, what are we going to do? Let's just stay the night at my dad's because they're going to continue this fucking party tomorrow, right? And it's like about 1 or 2 in the morning, and I'm like, well, we'll talk about that later. See, this is getting live right now. Can you hear the music bumping? The conca's being started. Everything is going great, right? We're all partying. It's a good time. And, you know, this is late 90s, 98, so it's really the wiggle smooth. So she's like, all right, she's cool. She just wanted to get that out of the way. And then I noticed that these vatos They're huddled up in the corner, the high power ones, right? The political ones. All the other homeboys are cool. It's asking, yeah, about this that have been up for 3 or 4 days. I don't even know where they're at. You know what I mean? You got other vatos over there trying to bone chicks on the couch in front of everybody. It was just a great party, right? Fuck it, let's party, right? And I'm getting really into it. And then the vatos coming over there. They're like, hey, bro, let me get at you. And then he's like, hey, you're from Merced. You've been locked up? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do you know this guy and that guy? He starts to name a whole bunch of people that I know of. But at that time, I was truly very active. So these were names that like you shouldn't speak on. You know, these were names that were like unspoken. Guys I had heard of but never met personally, but guys that I didn't want to speak about their business, you know, period. Because at that time, you know, it was taboo to speak on anything from an organization. Let's just say that, right? Without saying too much. You know, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, then you won't. And so I'm like, yeah, I heard. But, you know, they're like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Well, what they were really doing is testing the waters. They were trying to see the measure of the man. They were going to see how much I was going to divulge and what I was going to say. And I wasn't trying to say shit because first of all, it wasn't none of my business. Second of all, it wasn't none of theirs. And third of all, I said, hey, there's big old tin in there. Let's go in there, eh? What are you doing back here? Going to pinchy yak, smoking all day. Go in there and get some pussy. That's it. Let's get this ain't the 4-yard. But no, they thought they were in Corco, right? So they're definitely chilling back there on some political shit. So I'm kicking it with them. And one of the vatos is like, hey, we need to go get more pisto from inside the house. He's like, who wants to go? And them vatos are like, hey, let's go, bro. Right? So I was like, oh, hell no. Right? See, the way my going works is I like to go with somebody I know. I don't like to go with vatos that are high power that I don't know, that are already tripping on me a little bit, right? Fuck it, let's go. You know, because I ain't going to be no punk. So I tell my lady, hey, here's the car key. Remember, I left with these vatos. If anything was to ever happen to me, I never come back. You already know what it is. You know what I mean? Call my mom, tell her I love her. That's it, lady. This is how it is. I'm a norteño. Right? So bam, I'm gone. So I remember we wiggle. We go to Food for Less. I think it's Food for Less, Food Max, I forget. We go out there and we're getting pisto. We're getting beer, man, and we have to catch it before it closes. It's almost time where they chain it up and shit. You know, they don't open it till 6 in the morning. You can't get none. So we're trying to get that Bud Light on. Yes, gente. I'm not going to lie. It was Bud Light back in them days. You know what I mean? Now, things have changed, and Bud Light's non-binary. But back then, Bud Light was with the shit, right? So we definitely are snatching some Bud Light up. And the vato that doesn't like me, he's sitting in the back seat with me. Or that I feel like he doesn't like me. And you're going to see how it ends up. He didn't like me, right? He was like, hey, Holmes, stop by my hotel real quick. I got to grab something. I'm like, oh, hell no, bro. You're out there at a hotel. To what degree of ex-convict ass not having shit is this, right? That's guy. At least I got me a 1-bedroom apartment. The wiggle's real. They're about to get. He's staying in a hotel. Come on, I think they do my shot of that good guy. Huh? So, anyways, we pull up to this rinkety dinkety, cockroach infested. Fucking, I'm scared to even get off the car because I might get bit by bed bugs, and I ain't even laying on a bed, right? It was just bad situation. And I see it around. I'm like, damn, bro. And he's like, yeah, come in. Everybody come in. Kick back, bro. Smoke a leño or something. And I'm like, damn, bro, there's a party with BBL everywhere. The hyenas are all faded right now. We got hot beer. It's getting hotter as we speak in the trunk. Everyone's waiting on pisto. And your guys are over here trying to execute me or something, right? Well, this is what happened. One of the guys, I guess he mistook me for, he was like, hey, are you really from Merced? And I'm like, yeah, I looked at him, Merced. He said, yeah, bro. He goes, nah, you look like some homeboy I did time with from San Jose. And I said, is that right? I said, yeah, there's a lot of people that look like me. It's because I look good and shit. You know what I mean? I'm noticeable. He was like, nah, for reals, bro. Are you sure you're not from Saho? And I was like, nah. He goes, well, look, this is the way it's going to work. That's it. And I was like, oh, hell no. He said, that's it. It's getting serious, right? He's like, I'm going to make a couple phone calls, bro, because I think you're from San Jose. I said, bro, I got Merced with the huelga bird on my stomach. I'm from Merced. That's my wife's prima's house. I'm just trying to, what, bro? I ain't trying to do none of this shit right here, what you guys got going on. But, you know, you got to understand, I'm not saying it like this because at the same time I was still active. I still thought I was that one, right? So I'm like, call whoever you need to call. You want me to call a couple of my homeboys or what, bro? And he's like, nah, it's good, bro. I got a couple of people on my call. If it's all good, spend on la tira, Holmes. But if it's not, spend on la tira. I was like, oh, man. I knew I didn't want to go to this damn birthday party. I told that bitch a week ago, right? Anyways, so I'm kicking back, and he starts making phone calls. And vatos are like, nah, and I'm telling them my name. They're running my name or doing whatever they have to do, man. And I feel like I'm getting interrogated in Susanville all over again, right? I hadn't even been to Susanville at this time, but this is what I feel like now knowing, right? They're definitely doing a check on me, running through the B&Ls, making sure I'm not on the bad news list. And I'm active. Like I said, there was no spot on my name at this time. I was not fucking in bad standings. I was a cool homeboy. it was what it was, man. Do whatever you got to do. Talk to whoever you got to talk to. But I'm not from San Jose. I'm not that guy. You might have seen me in San Juan Cinco de Mayo one time cruising the Impala homes. But other than that, that's definitely not me that has problems with you or that said or did anything to you. I am from Merced to do some Nina correctly, right? Most vicious. So now they can't decide if I'm who they think I am or if I'm not. So I'm like, well, let's just go back to the party, bro. It's all good. He's like, nah, bro, trip out. So this is Tulare County. It's in, we don't just allow degenerates and people like, to come out here and kick it. I go, well, hold up. So I started getting a little brave. I'm like, what do you mean degenerate, bro? Fuck you talking about, bro? Right? And he was like, yeah, nobody knows you, bro. I said, I know everybody at the damn party. I don't know you, Arthur. Nobody knows you, but I know everyone at the party. So believe me, I done sucked on half the titties in that party. I promise you, right? Just go back there. My DNA's everywhere. I promise, right? I'm there. I've been there, Holmes. I've been fucking around with it. But see, I had never been to that prima's house, so I guess these were her homeboys. Like I said, they were from Baista. These are Tulare. These were her homeboys. You know what I mean? So of course they never see me there. So everything I'm saying doesn't add up, Holmes, because I'm sitting there telling everyone, man, I stay in Tulare. I'm always out here. I'm in my second home. So I was like, we are the world. We are the children. Like, hey, Holmes, I be out here, man. I'm dashing, get a TC blasted right here. I'm out here so much, man. Shout out to Varios Interrogation, right? I'm really with that function. But they ain't never seen me, so they're like, nah, I said, that shit don't add up. We ain't never seen you or heard of you. I'm like, damn. And then come to find out. So anyways, this is what happens. I stand up for myself. I'm like, bro, it is what it is, man. My old lady's waiting for me. Are you going to take me back, bro? Or are you guys going to do what you're going to do? I'm nervous, the motherfucker. My toenails are shaking. They're going, clack, 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 clack. They're doing the Mitchie slick, right? So I'm like, oh, hell no. And one Vato's like, let's just catch a fade. And I'm wondering why he's tripping. This is the one that's tripping on me so bad. If I'm a degenerate and I'm no good, just go ahead and pop me one time. Just go ahead and get rid of me, Holmes. And it was what it is, right? And believe me, I don't want that to happen. But at this point, I'm like, damn, what's going on, Holmes? This is the setup? What are you guys doing here, right? And the dude's like, let's catch the fade, Holmes. You know what I mean? If you're really about the north, if you're really like that, let's catch a fade. I'm like, hey, Holmes, there's no red on red. You're tripping, bro. What the fuck you talking about, bro? Catch a fade. You're a homeboy. It's supposed to be canalismo, bro. I'm from Merced, eh? Do you know who I am? He's like, no, that's the thing. We don't know who you are. I said, I'm trying to tell you. Let me explain myself, right? Anyways, look, we ended up catching a fade and I got jumped on. Man. They jumped me, right? They fucked me up pretty bad. Bad enough that I had to go to the hospital in an ambulance, right? I had a dislocated shoulder, my elbow. I don't know if you can see it. Right there? I got like a lump that sticks out right there. I'm about to turn my whole arm off. Try to turn my whole arm off. Come to find out, my old lady comes to the hospital, man, they contact her, I'm all jacked up, right? She's crying, what happened? What did you do? What did I do, right? I'm sitting there with the tube in my mouth. I can't tell right now, see, because the way that they fucked my head up works, right? Towed me up. Norteños definitely did me dirty, right? Hey, I'm proud of them, but at the same time, I was kind of sad. Come to find out, so we ended up jamming. I never went really back to Porterville, but a couple other times to her Jefito's house. I was cool with the partying. I was able to live, man. Them dudes wiggled, right? And I guess that kind of ruined the whole party because they took the beer with them. But one thing I know is for sure, and I paid for the shit. That's the cool part. Burnt me and beat me up. Damn, they be doing motherfuckers bad. And I was a good homeboy. Later on in the years, I ran into the guy in a yarda. And well, I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, so come to find out that he used to be with my old lady. That dude used to be, not with her, but he probably was in her a couple times, right? But he definitely wanted her. So when he found out, automatically, that's why he didn't like me. He knew that was my chick. So it was not even more so, are you no good? He was trying to smut my name up just to get off on me. And they definitely did that, man. It was a mistaken identity, or it wasn't even a mistaken identity. He just beat me up because he wanted the chick, right? It's most scandalous ass bullshit, right? Anyways, I got beat up that day. Years later, I run into him in Corcoran. And I approached him with that situation. Hey, Holmes. What's up, bro? My tooth is still not the same, man. See, my nose used to go that way, so now it goes that way. What happened, right? And he was like, hey, bro, Spansall, bro, you're a canad, you're the homeboy. It's all good, bro. He's like, I used to, you know what I mean? I used to be on that chick when we were young, and she used to be on me, and I seen her with you, and I got flashbacks, and I knew the pussy was mom, and now you're getting that. And the guy said, it wasn't that mom. You could have just had it, bro. If you'd have just had anything again, fair. It's all love and war, bro. You're norteño, Holmes. Canalismo. There you go. You know what I mean? So I got you. Holmes, like a spread. I'll tell her to spread. And you would have won. That's good. Wife or not. Fuck it. North comes first, right? He definitely, we ended up being homeboys. It was all cool. I wasn't worried about taking a fade or nothing. I understood the situation. Jealous men would do jealous things. But he used the guys of the North to do it, man. And they definitely towed me up. That was a bad experience in Tulare County. Other than that, I've always had love. It's always been real. And the co-part is, I won't say his name, but he's a very well-known guy in Tulare County, very well-known that did that, you know? And that's just what it is. Anyways, quick story, man. Just wanted to put it out there. Yet they set me up, man. They done took me to a hotel room, beat the holy hell out of me. So I was getting, hey, the cool part about it is why I'm getting beat up. There was roaches crawling on my leg. I'm getting jumped. I could feel bed bugs biting me behind my ear. I was getting beat up by everyone. The rats, the roaches, and the shiesty approaches. Man, no, they just don't fuck around. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get every single thing that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, don't go nowhere where you think it's all good. Hey, it could be all good one day and be all bad the next. You know what it is. If you like this, hit all notifications, turn it to all, and you get advised of all my content that's coming up. I got a whole lot of bang. I got a whole lot of more coming up. And don't now nutter motherfucker say now nutter like I say now nutter. You already know what it is. If you like this, hit that thumb up with a like and subscribe. If not, thumbs down. See, Heavy's going to be the head that wears guns crown. And I'm also going to continue to strive and struggle for the struggle and the strive. And that's what I do, man. Black and brown unity. You know what it is. Positivity, creativity, and all that good shit. You know, this is the gun. Real stories, real life, no added preservatives. Bang, bang. Shout out to Tulare County.